Hello and welcome to the 2023 MotoGP Esport Global Series final. And as you can see, we are here in Barcelona. And for the Spaniards that are here, estamos aquí in Barcelona. We are ready to decide who is going to be the champion for the 2023 MotoGP Esport Global Series. And with it being a global series, hello to everybody watching on YouTube around the world, because it really is a global audience. Coming up over the next hour or so, myself, Kiko Giles, along with a couple of legends on the stage, will be taking you through all the drama and excitement that's been replicated right from the start of the year. We've had rookie winners, the established guard with new faces also in the mix, and to round it all off, the finale is live here, and the results will be coming your way very, very soon. It's been a magical year so far, and I am glad to say that we are in good company. Not only are all 11 of our gamers here this weekend in Barcelona performing live for you, but we have some royalty on the stage. We'll be coming to that in just a few moments. It's been a magical year. 5 different pole sitters, 7 different podium finishers, 4 different winners, and the championship can still be thrown upside down, because with a double points format this weekend for this round, it can all change. You could have your last rider in the championship coming away with the coveted esports trophy. We have got 3 races at 3 different circuits. It's Argentina and Termas de Rio Hondo. There'll be the Kids in America for COTA, and then the finale at Sepang, just like it is this weekend for the MotoGP round itself over in Malaysia. With a massive audience around the world expecting to see fireworks, you can be sure that they won't be disappointed. We have a very tight championship. 22 points cover the top 4. I said that we had some royalty on the stage. I'm going to hand over now to my esteemed colleague Jack Gorst, who is with the MotoGP legend Dani Pedrosa.
Thank you very much, Kiko, for the warm welcome. It does give me great pleasure to say that on the biggest esports stage that we've ever had, we've got a true bona fide MotoGP legend with us. None other, 3-time world champion Dani Pedrosa, and also a little bit of a wildcard extraordinaire this year as well, Dani, all your performances in Misano as well. Dani, welcome to the esports stage, making your commentary debut here in MotoGP Esport. We know your track record on the track, but in kind of real, in the esport terms, we don't know if you play the game at all for a little bit of enjoyment or not. Do you play the game?
Yes, I play a few times the game, so I'm quite familiar with games in general. I always like to spend some time playing a few games, mostly racing games. So this is my preference usually, but yes, I'm not any expert like Dave, but I'm just trying to have fun.
Well, speaking of the experts, of course, Dani has a bit of a teammate out there representing the KTM team this evening with Jack Hammer, the number 67 there. But we also know that a former bike that you used to ride, which we won't name due to your contract reasons anyway, but a number 26 is out there too. Does it kind of tear your allegiances, or are you still kind of all team KTM this evening?
A bit kind of mixed feelings, of course, because Adriana I know from now many years, and he's been playing so well. And at the same time, well, our teammate from KTM, Jack Hammer. So wishing both of them good luck.
Yeah, well, we'll see how they go this evening. Of course, it is both of those two in the title fight, 2nd and 3rd. And we cross back over now to Kiko to see exactly what they are playing for, that coveted Global Series trophy.
Here we are then, ready to get underway, but as you can see behind me, there's the very coveted trophy I just mentioned about. Come and follow me over here. And I've got a very special guest ready to come and collect it. Don't forget, this is up for grabs, and anybody can take it home with them at the end of the day. I'm with last year's champion, Adrian. If you come in here, this is yours. Are you ready to try and defend it quickly?
Hi to everyone. First of all, I want to say that I am very happy to be here again on the on-site event. I am very happy because this round is very important because I am in the fight for the championship. I know it will be very difficult because we are 4 riders in the 22 points, but like always, I will try to do my best and fight for the championship until the first corner. And I hope all the people enjoy the races.
Thank you so much, Adrian. Great words there. Go and take the trophy up to the stage and try and see if you can take it back later on. just if you have missed it, of course, first question, where have you been? But secondly, don't worry, because the season recap is here, ready and waiting. And trust me, it has been an absolute corker. MotoGP Esport Glory started with a sprint. We are ready then to get underway.
With 5 new gamers joining our 6 already there, those debutants made sure they were known. These newcomers, I tell you what, they really are here, they mean business, don't they? Look at that.
Oh! And the heavyweights battled from the start. Trust leads onto the straight. Will the Honda be able to come by side? What a way to start 23!
Davide Teresi was the first of the rookies to find glory at round 2.
Davide Teresi with a first race victory. Fantastic. And the classic battles elevated the competition to the highest level.
Daniele Allo is going to come through on 2 of them. Surely not. Barge's kites are out of the way.
This isn't a battle, this is a war.
And just to add more drama into the mix, flag-to-flag races were here for the first time.
Oh, there is rain.
There is rain. It's raining. We have flag-to-flag races, and it is raining.
Now we have got drama. And just when you thought you'd seen it all, the closest esports finish ever. Here we go down the back.
He's going
straight to gun. He's going to go through. Oh. Did he get on the line? And now the deciding moments. 1 sprint, 2 races. Who will be the MotoGP Esport Global Series champion in 2023? So that has been 2023 so far. Do not think that that is a clear indicator to what you're about to see. As you can see, I've legged it back over to the caster's position, and everyone is currently thinking, why is his hair so bad? But I'm glad to say that I am here behind that graphic alongside Jack Gorst and Danny Pedrosa in the middle of us, on the top step, some might say, on the podium. It has been a championship, lads, that's been absolutely alive. We're going to come to our main contenders very, very soon. The top 4 in the championship, as I said down there in the MotoGP stand, it's separated by just 22 points. Jack, quickly, before we check in with our stars of the show, this has been a mega year. This is one of your title contenders, Christian MM17, coming on a late charge in 2023. He's always been competitive, but this could be a year where he delivers the goods. He's one of 2 Montenegro brothers, and I think we're going to be coming to them very soon. But we have got a British representative here, and of course, he is Jack Hammer.
Yeah, Jack Hammer. Many have predicted him as the one that will come out of this with the championship trophy at the end of it. Watch out for him. He's won the most pole positions this year, and he's also picked up a total of 3 victories as well. So certainly in good form indeed is Jack Hammer on the KTM Facturation machine. He's only about 5 points behind the next in line in the championship standings at the moment, and that is the one that currently holds that Global Series trophy there. The reigning champion, Adrian, on the Repsol Honda, wearing the number 26, like the great Danny Pedrosa did for so many years on the Repsol Honda. And Adrian, interestingly though, this year he has not won a race yet, which is quite a bit of a predicament coming into the final round. But as you'll see as we go through and explain the format for this evening, there is a big dose of points on offer that could drag him right the way back to the top, and with title glory once again.
As you say, Jack, earlier on, it is a year that's absolutely alive. And what can we say? That's your 3 big names, but we're missing one. Here he is, Trash73. Don't yawn yet, because you've got a title on the line, and he's your GOAT of esport in MotoGP. Trash73 is leading the way. Will he be leading the way with the trophy in his hand luggage going back to Italy? Well, we'll have to find out very, very soon about that one. But as we alluded to briefly already in the build-up to today, we have got a new format on offer, and Jack Gorst is going to be able to explain you more. Go ahead, mate.
Yeah, so certainly this final round in the championship is added a little bit of double jeopardy in because we do have double points. So instead of the usual 12 that you would get for the winner in the sprint, there is 25. So technically double points plus 1. But then in the main 2 races, in race 7 and race 8 of the Global Series here, to round us out and crown our champion, there will be 50 points on offer for the winner in each. And of course, those double points do carry it down through the rest of the positions as well. So we've turned up the heat for the final round. And really, now we have to see how it plays out in racing. But before we do go racing, of course, we set the grids yesterday, and one rider in particular made sure to drive home his advantage in qualifying.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a mega season if your name's Jack Hammer. He has been an absolute pole hound. Jack Hammer by name, Hammer Time by nature more often than not. And he is your TISO Pole Awards winner in 2023. TISO, of course, are one of our official partners that put on this spectacular event and make it all possible. And on offer for the Pole Hound in 2023 was a brand new watch. And
lovely, actually, isn't it?
It's just there in front of us. Don't worry, Jack Hammer will be receiving that soon. But have a look at this. State-of-the-art technology, as always, by one of the legendary watch manufacturers in the world. The Swiss watch manufacturers have always been a key and integral part in MotoGP. And in MotoGP esports, of course, the story is no different. 5 pole positions Jack Hammer has had that have contributed to that. And I think it's time for a bit of a special presentation. Danny Pedrosa is going to hand it over to his KTM teammate, I think we can say, even if it's not in esports terms. But not yet anyway.
Whoa,
mind your step, Danny,
careful.
as he nearly takes a tip there. You'll send a postcard
Yeah,
next
that
time
could
he
be a
comes
bit of
back.
a lawsuit if we injure Danny DeProzo.
Here he is then, Jack. This has been a marvellous season for a young Jack Hammer. He's going to be loving this moment.
Yeah, he certainly is. Of course, Jack Hammer with 7, well, he will line up 7 times on pole position as we do finish out the rounds here. Taking over a lovely Tissot watch, as you can see there. Technically, it's 5 pole positions, but of course, with the sprints, he starts a couple more times in pole position as what we would do usually. But with the final formalities all going down and for us, then we are going to start rolling into racing very, very soon indeed. Well, you will see that even on the grid for the first race this evening, there are some drama things to be unfolded. There you can see then a prime photo that I'm sure that will go on Jack Hammer's Instagram at the end of this event. And certainly, why not? You don't blame him at all. Danny Pedro is not one that you get to meet every day if you're a MotoGP fan.
Not that. Jack Hammer, not someone you can meet any day. Jack Hammer, obviously in title contention in 2023, looking for that elusive first MotoGP Esport Global Series crown. And he's in super good form, I must admit. When we were asked our predictions coming into this, a lot of people leaning towards Jack Hammer. But it is time, there's no point waiting anymore, to go racing. It's time for racing. It's time to go racing. It's time for Argentina. The sprint race is coming next.
So then, here we go with the sprint info for the first race this evening. We are about to go racing in Termes de Rio Hondo, one of the most peculiar tracks on the calendar. You can see there, 4.8 kilometers long with 9 right turns, and some of these left turns are ones to watch out for. Watch at turn 6, the fast left after the back straight. They'll be flying through there before then diving down into a couple more key areas as well. Looking at the track map, turn 5 is a big overtaking opportunity, so is turn 7, but don't forget about turns 12 and 13 at the end there. They'll be looking to dive up the inside to pinch a cheeky move on the final lap if they can. Of course, the sprint is only 3 laps, so if they're going to come from far down on the grid, they've got to get a shift on. And Kiko, I wouldn't want to predict this one, but I think, well, I don't know. They've all been saying that Jack has had the pace, but let's see how it works out in this.
I'll tell you what, normally I'd ask you and normally you'd ask me, but that's Danny Pedrosa. Who do you think could be someone to keep an eye on in this race?
It's hard to say, but obviously Jack Hammer setting the pole, so he's going to be one of the key players. So I expect a quite interesting race because although it's only 3 laps, there are many overtaking points on this track, so it's possible anything at this moment.
Argentina, of course. They eat goat in Argentina, of course. And Trast isn't on the menu tonight. He is on our schedule, though, and he is going to be looking to try and convert his grid slot. We're going to go through the grid very, very soon. But the time has come. You've had the build-up. Let's stop the talking. Let's start the doing. The MotoGP Global Series finale is coming next. It's time to get into it.
So here we go then. We are about to load up this lobby and get them onto the grid and then go racing in Argentina. You see there, 3, 2, 1, tick them off. And here is the front row of the grid then. Daniele Aloe will line up on pole on the factory Ducati. Certainly been very good on one-lap pace indeed this year. Christian MM17, the most recent winner. He won the final race at round 3 of the series last time out. And Jack Hammer there on the KTM completes the front row.
On the second row, your championship leader, Trast, is heading it up ahead of Davide Teresi. Don't forget, he's a rookie race winner this year from Mandalika. And super sub, Piero Ricciuti, 55 at the Grassini Ducati outfit.
Spadalongo on the Aprilia. He's only one of 4 riders that hasn't picked up a podium yet this year. So is Ike, 13 on the RNF Aprilia. And another one is Keinster, the German on the Gas.
And as you can hear, the crowd are cheering. That's not Danny Pedrosa on the grid. That is Adrian, number 26. He's going to be trying to get a first win of the year. And Plat 1 for life. Handy as always. The Brit going from the back. He missed qualifying, so he has got a lot of work ahead of him. So, this is it. 3 races to come. It starts with a sprint just like the year did. Red lights on. Now we are racing. Daniele Aloe gets a fly off the line, but so does Christian MM17. Does he dive to the inside? He does. Jack Hammer pushing and shoving, but he's gone out wide. Through has come. Oh dear, that's a disaster. Piero Ricciuti has gone down. He is up and okay. He'll be back on the track very soon. Trast trying to come through from that second row. Can't do so. Davide Teresi being pushed out by Christian MM17 there. But it's Daniele Aloe who leads from pole position as they go down this enormous back straight for the first time.
Yeah, Davide Teresi's definitely getting busy then. So 2 of the rookies on the Pramac and also the factory Ducatis have made good progress off the line. We're on board now with your championship leader, Trastevere, looking down the inside into turn 5 on Christian. Whoa, he's going to barge the Honda wide and then barge the Ducati wide. Through he goes then, up into second. We'll have to keep an eye on what the race director says. We don't want any shenanigans, but that wasn't so bad so far. Update on Adrian, your reigning champion who started 10th on the grid. He's up to 6th already.
Danny, that was a
very aggressive move from Trast. Already gets a warning on this first lap, but he's trying to be up front early and trying to make some pressure and leave the guys behind. As with 3 laps, you cannot make any mistakes.
You can't, and you can't make too many more because it will be a hefty penalty if race direction think that you're taking the mickey a little bit. We're on the run down towards this horseshoe right-hander that ends this lap. It's not the best end to the lap, I must say. Jack Hammer, we're watching him. He's zooming in on the back of Trast now. Flick it left. You'll see them take liberties there on the last lap, but Trast pulling on. Oh, Plat 1 for life has gone down. We've seen that too many times this season. He'll be back up and okay. Daniele Aloe is 11th. Daniele Aloe's gone all the way down to bottom place. As throw on the inside has come Jack Hammer. Thank you very much. Now he's looking at the back of a Ducati.
You saw that one coming down straight away, didn't you?
Trast opened the door in the first corner, and Jack Hammer took no time to take advantage of that.
Here we go then with Adrian. He's up into 5th after lap 1. Of course, this is only a 3-lap race, so we're almost already halfway through it, if you can believe that or not. But he's got half a second up the road to Spadalongo. Oh, here we go. Jack Hammer and Trastevere. Trast is going to fight back on him up into turn 5. He did this move on the Ducati last time out, and he's done it on the KTM this time.
This time he doesn't send the rival off for an Argentinian stake on the exit of turn 5. So a bit neater, not much neater, but a little bit at least. So Trast is through up into second, then rival. Oh,
who's that wide?
That's the leader. That's Davide Teresi who's gone wide. So mistakes here. Nerves creeping in this final sprint race of the year. Look at the championship standings. Trast 19 points clear of Jack Hammer, who would move up into 2nd place as it stands now, but he won't want that to stay. Double points at offer for the first time this year and all the races. So it's 25 big smackers for a win in the sprint.
Huge pressure from Jack Hammer on Trast, and let's see how he's going to finish in the last lap next coming. I think these guys are trying not to make mistakes, but both are running on the limit.
Yeah, they absolutely are riding on the limit, that is for sure. And so is this guy, Christian MM17. He's just picked up a track limits warning there, but so far not so bad. But anyway, regardless, the one that would have a nightmare out of the championship result in this is Christian, and the one that would suddenly come into contention is Davide Teresi, one that we didn't even think was in it before this race, but he could well be in it now as well. I'll tell you what, that race win might not be so secure anymore. The top 3 are within 0.4 of a second.
Back down the back straight then. So, Jack Hammer, big slipstream effects on MotoGP 23 this year, and he's being used to good measure. Does he have the minerals on the brakes? No. Trast outbrakes him. Leans. Oh,
he's got
outbrakes himself. And, oh, dear me, we almost had our F2018 then at turn 6. That was back then. This is now in esports. Jackhammer up into second. Danny Pedrosa, where is he going to be on this final lap if he wants victory?
I think he's going to try in the last corner because he's not so close. But I trust doesn't. It didn't say his last word. So let's see how he can come back in the last sector.
Well, he's running out of time here. He's only got about 4 corners left. Davide Teresi, 4 of them. Oh, he's going to go right across the track limits. That's a bit cheeky. But he does, of course, have a little bit of a margin to use it. We've got 3 corners to go. Can Jackhammer pull anything off? I'm not sure he can.
He's going to have the biggest lunge in esports 2023 if it stays like this. I don't think he's going to be able to. Davide Teresi.
Oh, he's gone wide.
But not enough. That was just the camera trying to fool us. Davide Teresi brings himself into contention with victory. We said they'd take liberties on the last lap, and they did. Apparently, Jackhammer has crossed the line first. We'll wait for official confirmation. I think that's the game getting glitched.
That's a bad one.
Dearie me.
Remember, it's double of points.
Yeah.
Massive double points, Danny.
So
that's a great
every
point.
position is super important.
That's a great point. You should get double points for making that. Very, very interesting stuff there. As we're looking to see who's taking victory out of that. It looked like Davide Teresi had it all sewn up. But we saw in qualifying yesterday, Jack, that they do take limits there. They do take... They do absolutely go full throttle through that last kink because they can cross the line before crashing.
It's a little bit of a Hail Mary there through the last corner as they do try to send it to pick up an extra 10th or 2. And it looks as though the race director has confirmed the results now. Hopefully they should be popping up on our screens very, very shortly. But it should be then Davide Teresi that picks up that win. But I'll tell you what, there's some uncertain faces there. Adrian, he won't be too pleased. A good fight back nonetheless from starting on 10th on the grid to get that 5th position. But it does mean he loses a whole chunk of points in the championship chase. We saw that it was 19 before Jackhammer picked off Trastevere for 3rd. So I won't do the quick maths on that because it will probably be wrong knowing that it's double points. But we'll wait and see very, very shortly because it should be around about a 10-point gap at the top of this championship standing.
Well, we're going to have a quick look at it now, and Trast still the leader by 7 from Jackhammer. So Jackhammer was the people's favourite coming in for the championship this year. He was the people's favourite when asked this round just a few hours ago, and he brings himself into contention. But look at Davide Teresi. He's up into 4th now behind Adrian, who slips to 3rd. But Trast still the one with a target on his back. But what a race to get us underway here at the UB Live Festival in Barcelona.
Yeah, cracking race. Danny, what did you make of that? Obviously, it was a little bit of a chaotic race with being the sprint, but these guys are quite impressive.
We've seen crashes early on, and then we've seen the gap they built the first 3 guys immediately after the first lap. So let's see how it's going to happen in the next long race. But anyway, I think these guys fighting for the championship are willing to risk it everything. And let's see how also Adrian, 10 points behind only, can recover from for the next 2 races.
Well, nerves shot, I think, is not the description of that picture. Description of how Davide Teresi is feeling right now. There's Jackhammer, cool as a cucumber with sunglasses upside down on his bonds. Look at that, brilliant stuff. Let's check out the highlights then. Jack, talk us through the best moments of our opening race here in Argentina.
So it all started then with the run down to turn 1, and we saw a couple of positions change there at turn 1, but nothing too dramatic. It was a pretty good launch from the pole man. Daniele Eloe made sure he kept that advantage at the front, but you see there that Jackhammer didn't have the best turn 1, got down a couple of spots, but then managed to recover those later on. Christian at this point was up in 2nd, but then it did all unravel for him, and one of those reasons why it did unravel was because of a big move from Trastevere that came through. This is a little bit later. This is the 2nd lap, about halfway through. And then on to the final lap. Here you go. Trastevere runs wide. Jackhammer cuts underneath. We thought for a second that Daniele Teresi, Davide Teresi, might be pinched off as well, but cheekily used a little bit of track limits, but that's all fine, and rode home to a sprint victory. His 2nd win of the season. Congratulations to him, and it drags him to 30 points behind in the championship chase. So he's certainly not too far out of it with 2 races and 100 points still left on offer. Kiko, what did you make of that for going forward for the rest of the evening?
I'll tell you what, 1 race down, 2 to go. This is going to get lively. I think we're going to have to be stood up for the next bit. We have to be careful not to fall. Obviously, we have got MotoGP in Malaysia this weekend, but the season finishes in Valencia, and you can be part of the action because the MotoGP Beats Lights Out Gala is going to welcome the public to the party for the first time in Valencia.
Yeah, so on the 26th of November, then you can go down to Valencia yourself, the Sunday night of the closer out of the rounds of the 2023 MotoGP season. There will be a little bit of a concert there after the champion ceremony. We will have Anna Maynor, so make sure you go and pick up your tickets and join us as we close out the season in some style at the Lights Out Gala. Make sure you get there. It's going to be a good one, not just for the racing, but also for the party and celebration afterwards. Danny, will you be in Valencia?
I actually, not this year.
That's a shame.
I will
miss the
arrive
party.
just one day later.
For the
I have to
serious
attend the
work.
test, but actually I'm missing the party.
Okay.
Well, the party goes on late, Danny, as you know, I'm sure. So you might get there just in time for the last drink. That will be in Valencia, 26th of November, and don't forget, of course, the superstar, which is Anna Maynor, will be there putting on the beats and the classics for you. We're ready to go racing here, though, in Barcelona for the Esports Global Series finale. This is the penultimate round. Let's check out where we're going. I think we're off over the other side of the pond. America and COTA await.
So here we go then for race 7 of the 2023 Global Series. We're off to the home of the brave and the land of the free, the Circuit of the Americas. COTA, one of the more, well, I'd say the trickiest track in MotoGP. Danny might disagree, I don't know. Tricky one?
Yeah, very tricky.
Very tricky.
Very tricky.
And we're going to make it even trickier because we are going to add some wet weather into this one as well. There you can see plenty of turns here in COTA, 20 of them, and some of those are seriously good overtaking opportunities. Think of turns 11 and 12, 2 dead stop hairpins, but then also the final corner itself, turn 20, not a bad one to get it done either. So then we are gearing up to go racing in COTA, and this one is going to be a big one. 10 laps in the wet at COTA. Kiko, I wouldn't want to predict this, so I'm not going to ask, but you can ask me.
Fantastic. If you want to have a prediction, I must say, I'm not going to say a name. Big tip, though, generally with how the game is this year, wet weather, it's hard. So
It is.
biggest thing, the obvious, stay on two wheels.
Exactly. We've
Stay
heard
on
that
two
from
wheels.
the gamers themselves, this race will be a little bit of a race of survival, haven't we? So it's certainly going to be a very tricky one indeed. Danny, you will have rode around COTA in the wet before in a couple of sessions.
Plenty of corners to make mistakes, plenty of corners to crash, and very difficult spots where you can run out or lose the front. So it's very important to keep focus. It's 20, I think there is 20 corners around this track. So 10 laps are going to be very long for the players, and it's going to require a high level of concentration.
It really is. Every point matters. Mistakes will be punished, that is for certain. I think our gamers are ready. We are certainly ready. It's time to go racing in America. The penultimate round is getting underway.
Here we go then for race 7. As we do say, COTA in the wet. It's going to be a tricky one indeed. We'll just load the riders into the lobby and underway in 3, 4, 2, 1. 3, 4, 2, 1.
3, 4, 3, 2, 1. It was a flight number, is it, or something?
Well, let's go 1, 2, 3, shall we? Adrian's on pole then. Much better than Ted Frey was in the race before. Then his brother, Christian MM17, is behind him. He needs a good result here to throw himself back into championship contention. And a newcomer to the championship contention, shall we say, Davide Torrisi lines up in 3rd.
Rare sight, Jack Hammer, not on pole, but he is ahead of the second row. Championship leader Trust and main title rival to Jack Hammer 5th. Daniele Aloe 6th, looking to try and bounce back from his sprint race in Argentina in disappointment.
Spadalongo is in 7th once again. Nice consistent qualifying from him, as well as his Aprilia teammate Aiki on the RNF machine in 8th. Kaiser once again is in 9th on the gas.
On the final row of the grid, late standing Piero Ricciuti 55. And on the last place, Black 1 for life, as we say, misqualifying. So we are ready to get underway. It's a very wet COTA. You have to put your COTAs on, I think. It's very, very wet. Let's see if the track dries. We have got flag-to-flag races in 2023, but we are lights on, and now we will be lights out. Great start. Jackhammer like a greyhound. He was flying out the second row. Jackhammer, if he does not get the whole shot, I'll eat my hat that I'm not wearing. Up at turn 1 then. Jackhammer leads. Everyone through cleanly? Yes, I think so. Davide Torrisi 2nd. 3rd for Adrian so far. Looking back through the spray, and then that's Trask going head-to-head with Christian and losing out. Daniele Aloe 6th through the Suzuka section for the first time.
We heard yesterday that some of the riders were having trouble with the rear spinning off the line in the wet. Well, it certainly did not do that for Jackhammer. That hooked up fantastic. He's pulled the whole shot from the second row, And to tell you what, that is a massive advantage here in the first lap, because you want to be out ahead of all the chaos. With rain at COTA, it's definitely a tricky one. But Davide Teresi, once again, he's turned the wick up here for the final round.
Crash in the background. That was Daniele Aloe. Daniele Aloe has gone down, so he's had no luck in Argentina. He's gone north to North America, and his no luck continues. So Daniele Aloe out of the race, more like a contention of the race, and almost certainly title hopes. Anything that he had before, he certainly doesn't have now. Jackhammer leading down the straight. Danny Pedrosa, how bumpy is this back straight? It's a roller coaster.
Yes, absolutely difficult straight even to control the bike. Be careful there.
Oh, wow, that was seriously deep on the brakes. Did he get it stopped? Oh, my Lord. How's he got that stopped? So Davide Teresi then fires through to the lead for the second race in a row. Are you sure? Is he really going to come in with a trio of race victories? Well, we'll have to see if he can do it. But there are 7.5 laps to go, and that is a long way around here.
Trust, who is struggling in this first lap, is risking now to lose many points. Let's see if after he can pick up his rhythm and recover some gap. But at the moment, looks like he's not having the best feeling on this opening lap.
And I tell you, Jackhammer is all over Davide Teresi like the proverbial raincoat. Probably not proverbial, actually, with the conditions out there. But Jackhammer absolutely flying so far in this opening lap. He led the early part of it. He allowed Davide Razgatlioglu to come through on the brakes down into turn 12. Do not know how he got that stop, but slipstream effect coming in now. Jackhammer will breeze on by. He should do anyway. Davide Teresi, look at the steely focus of the players. Oh, my Lord, where on earth did that end up? Did it end up in the gravel? Nearly for Davide Teresi, back into second there. So Jackhammer takes over control at the front.
What a massive swing as well. 21 points ahead. He was 7 behind going into this. So this, really, they say there's double points working in action there. Oh, Adrian's gone straight through. On one of the corners there. He's going to have to lose some time, surely.
Oh,
wow, he's going right on the back, so I'm not too sure about that one. We'll have to see what the race director say about that. As Davide Teresi looks up the inside. No, Jackhammer just cuts him off. But I am sure that Adrian will have to give back some time. But we'll see what they say.
Adrian now with track limits, so he will have to be very careful in the next corners. There's still many laps remaining and many chicanes where it's possible to make another mistake. So he will have to really back it up and make sure he doesn't make another track limits.
And 2 track limits, Danny, early on in this race. He's got 6.5 laps to go.
That's
with
why.
Just two more before the penalty. So that's going to be tricky.
Exactly. You have to be very much on point. And at the same time, you have to battle for improve your position. And a massive attack now from Davide.
Oh, anything you can do, he can do better. Davide Teresi went for the apex. He was shoved off it on the exit because Jackhammer was not taking that line down. Try it once, sunshine, you will not do it again. Jackhammer asserting authority. He might need to assert it again here. This is into this finally the last of that consecutive run of first gear corners. Through the right-handers now. This is so slippery in the wet conditions.
Yeah, Davide Teresi then not taking no for an answer at the minute with Jackhammer. Some lovely racecraft, it has to be said, from Jackhammer to cut back underneath him there on the exit of turn 12. Fantastic stuff from the KTM riders. Once again, Davide Teresi is poking his nose in, but once again, Jackhammer just parks the KTM right in the way and he cannot get through. 2 laps completed, only 2. We're firing on to lap 3 now.
2 laps, a long way to go in this race yet. No surprise to see Jackhammer with the fastest lap, but this race has settled down. Trust, look how far back he is, Danny. He's nowhere. Trust is struggling.
Yeah, he's struggling big time, and as we remember, the audience is double points for this race, so he's gonna lose a lot of points, and it's important at the moment to keep, if he cannot feel it, he can keep close as much as he can, because these guys still can make a mistake, they can crash. So you also, if you play it a little bit safe, it's a good strategy when he already now gets a track limits as well from Trust. So I think it's going to be a tricky next laps, but it's important always to stay on the bike.
Oh my God, surely not.
That's not a place where you can overtake normally. Is Jack's going to fight back for him on turn 10? Unbelievable.
What a fight.
This is like Dovizioso and Marquez in the way back in Teggy 2017. Let's see what the outcome's going to be. I was just going to say, with this aggression, Danny, Jack Hammer is in a much more vulnerable position than Davide. And if he's caught in an accident that's not his own, that's going to really annoy him, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure he's taking a big risk, but at the moment Davide is feeling it today, and he's taking his chance. Anyway, I think Jack Hammer is trying to get the maximum points as possible, but for the moment he's finding a good rival on track.
Yeah, let's take a look at this championship. Thanks for that input, Danny. That is very important indeed. What you're saying, look at what it means during the championship. Jack Hammer, even if he finishes second, if he keeps his nose clean, he's still got a 21-point lead over Adrian and Trust. I know it can all change at the next round, the last round in Malaysia, but massive shift. And I make it my reckoning, Jack, in the last few years we've been watching Jack Hammer, that would be the first time he leads a championship, and what a moment to do it.
Absolutely, it would be, yeah. We've never seen Jack Hammer at the head of the standings. He's always been quick, but for some reason he's not quite been able to put it together in races until, we have to say, only the second half of this season. He's suddenly come alive, got all the kinks worked out, and I tell you what, a 21-point swing, 21-point lead, I should say, going into the final race, even though it is double points, is certainly not bad at all.
And while we are speaking, fastest lap for Trust this time with 2 minutes 9 seconds, so he's coming back into contention.
All 5 riders in the same picture for the first time, really, looking very close. Do some live maths on air. It looks about 2 seconds to me that is the gap. But Trust is the man on a mission. He's got the magnets on. He's taking liberties again. No, that'll be a track limits warning for certain. So Trust, that'll be his second one. That'll be strike number 2 against his name. But he's caught Christian MM17. And he's looking to try and get through, but it's one thing catching and another thing passing.
Absolutely, yeah. We've seen Davide Teresi have no issue passing those, so I'm sure that Trastevere will also be able to make short work of them. The 25. Piero Ricciuti's gone down, that's a shame for the stand-in. I think actually as well it popped up that Christian got a track limits warning just there as well, so he now needs to be careful as well, as actually Jack Hammer is the only one in the top 5 that still does not have a track limits warning.
How positive is that going to be for Jack, Danny, that he's riding free, he's in second, obviously good pace, but no track limits warning. That's good for him so far.
Yeah, of course, he still have some margin to play with when Trust is coming into the inside.
That's not what he could have done.
He
needed that like a kick in the teeth from a donkey. Oh, my dear Lord, Trust. To be fair, they were so far ahead of everyone anyway, he crashed and still made a position up. He went from 5th to 4th to the gravel and back to 4th where he was when he crashed. So crashed, 73, is still 4th, but that is going to be looked into, I'm sure, because that has wrecked any chance that Christian MM17 had, because it's put him a second. And another warning for Trust, we're told here.
Warning this time, so that is a big strike.
What is that going to do for the championship? What is that going to do for the championship? You know, he's made up some points here. Jack Hammer, who has stayed in second whilst Trust has made 1 place up, now needs more than ever to get ahead of Davide Teresi.
I've never seen a rider go for an overtake, crash during the overtake, and still make up the position, so that's quite an impressive one. Look at that then.
Massive
7 points, wow. That is a real big change from the last championship graphic that we did see. But you can see it is still Jack Hammer sitting in second, but he's got a whole load of pressure from the reigning world champion, Adrian, right behind him, who would slip to third and just 11 points behind. It could be 13 points covering the top 4 as we go into the final round. Are you joking? Unbelievable. But there's another one for Davide Teresi on track limits.
And not just that, though. If Jack Hammer drops a place here to Adrian, live maths on air, never a good thing, but it would be 1 point in the favour of Trust going into the last round. So even though Jack Hammer put the flag out now, is your new championship leader, he would be, if he loses 1 place, 1 point behind Trust going to Sepang. And look at Davide Teresi, a win next time out for him, and with Jack Hammer and Trust 3rd or lower, and he's bought himself a title, unreal. And look at it, head to head here, half a second covering the top 3.
It's unbelievable. We were selling this final round as the top 4 covered by 22 points. That top 4 did not include Davide Teresi, but he's pulling it out the bag now, and he might just put in a late charge to become the world champion in 2023. But not if anything this man has to say about it. Adrian, he's fighting hard. He's still winless in 2023. Don't forget.
Don't remember, he's trying.
He's lost a little bit of time there going on the curb, wide on the exit, but he's still right there, and he's definitely applying the pressure now. Of these 3, he looks like the quickest to me.
I like very much the strategy from Adrian, who is trying to take it as calm as possible and trying to be close and maybe waiting for the mistakes of the first two guys. But because at the beginning they were fighting very strong, and now it looks like Jack Hammer took a little step back and maybe try to attack another time at the end of the race.
And who would you want to be, Danny, in this position? And what, comfortable leading out front, attacking and defending in second, or full attack mode in third?
I think Jack Hammer has quite good control over the race, but Davide is playing very strong today, so you can see it's immediately attacking back, so he doesn't want to give up this first position.
Incredible there. Jack Hammer let that roll right into the apex. Davide Teresi tried to turn it under him, but Jack just so fast. Davide Teresi, I remind everybody here, and if you've not been following us in 2023, it's a rookie. Davide Teresi is a rookie. You never guess. Trast is a 3-time world champion here in esports. 3 titles to his name. P nowhere really. 4th at the moment. Davide Teresi riding very, very well so far. But Jack Hammer leading for now. But we know that bit of a moment there for Davide Teresi.
Little cuts for Davide there in that corner where looks like Davide will try win or lose it. It looks like doesn't care about crashing. But at the moment playing very strong race, and let's see if Adrian can make a certain improvement here and try to step up one position.
And this is where sorry Jack, just to come in, this is where Davide's been so strong. I think even for Davide he's a bit too far back this time. Let's wait and see.
I'm not sure.
Here we go, down. He's getting right up close to that KTM
He's parked
swing
on the
arm.
apex, hasn't he? Certainly turned it lovely and tight there, and he's going to drop it over the nose.
Hello.
Oh my lord, what a move that is from Davide Teresi.
Hard?
Certainly he's aggressive, he's ferocious with these moves, but look at Jack Hammer fighting back in a place where you wouldn't think it could be possible. Is he going to turn it under him now? He's certainly going to catch the KTM there, places it on the inside. Is he going to turn that RC16 under him here again? Oh, I think that Prima Pramac Racing Ducati's parked right in the middle.
Was parked
Great
as well.
riding from the pair of them, and it's happening again.
Impressive
Unbelievable.
Inside there, but Jack Hammer is risking it all.
He needs to, and this is like watching a couple of World Superbike races in recent rounds. Is it that top bracket out row? Up inside. Look at this. Look at the focus. How can they be so calm? We're going mental here on the caster's position. Davide Teresi leading again. One more time. We cross the line. Penultimate lap time. Jack Hammer back ahead. Davide Teresi going to try and look on the inside. No, he goes the long way. He's going to have to yield that though. Adrian's licking his chops. Look at this.
And now Adrian's in there.
He's down.
Adrian's down.
That's that. Adrian, surely that's a huge dent in his championship. But Davide Teresi and Jack Hammer, dearie me, Strictly Come Dancing is on later tonight, and this is what we want to see. This is poetry in motion. These two are absolutely dancing in the rain.
Well, I think that championship standing graphic might be a little bit out of date, because surely Adrian will be losing more points than that. He's not going to be 11, it's going to be more than that. That is a massive moment for the defence of Adrian's 2022 crown. If you have to tell me now, I think that could be game over. That might be it for Adrian. Even though we've got one race to go, you just don't cover that many points back in one race.
Well, unless your name's Davide Teresi, don't forget double points on offer. Double points are absolutely throwing this title race on its head. We're on with Trast now. Trast is in 3rd place, but he's got another track limit. One more and he will have a long lap. Trast 73, dearie me. He's got 1 lap and a half to go to try and keep that between the white lines. Trast 73 is going to be, and Christian MM17 in 5th place. Doesn't matter too much there. And Spadalongo in 8th. Let's give a mention to the Aprilia rider. All of them riders on 4 strikes at the minute. One more and they are on a long lap, even at this late stage of the race. We're looking back at the front. Jack Hammer leads Davide Teresi. We have got a lap and a sector to go. Danny Pedrosa, who is your prediction in this head-to-head fight?
Well, it's hard to pick one because looks like Davide is giving it all and Jack Hammer wants maximum points to secure this championship, but I think Davide is going for it.
Whoa, so he's not saying the KTM rider then. Okay, we'll have to ask Pit Byron what he thinks about that one at the end of this. But anyway, last lap time, here we go. Will it be Jack Hammer? Will it be Davide Teresi? Unbelievably, these two are now the prime favourites, I would say, for this 2023 Global Series crown. And Davide Teresi, you can be sure, is going to be firing up the inside at some point.
They're going to throw the kitchen out of its own front door at this rate. Jackhammer leads so far down the hill. There's a bump here in real life, not in here.
Oh my Lord,
round the outside.
no.
No, not this time. He tried, he had to think about it, he didn't execute it. So, one line through here. This is the stake section, as we call it. Side to side to side.
So fast.
Look at Jackhammer putting that KTM right in Davide Teresi's way. He's a rolling roadblock. And at this point in the race, it doesn't matter about pace, it matters about position. And Jackhammer has got the lead, but he's got track position as well, although he is vulnerable into the two dead stop hairpin.
Yeah, Danny, which corner would you go for here if this was you?
I think I would go on the back straight. At the end of the long straight, I would try hard. But Jack Hammer is racing very well at the moment, defending this position.
Well, he's gone one early compared to where you said. He's gone before the back straight. Will Jackhammer get that wound wick up on the KTM RC16? He's going to tuck into the slipstream now as we fire down the back straight for the final time. He doesn't even need the slipstream at this point. Elbow to elbow, side by side, down the back straight. The last lap, this could decide who goes into the final race in the title lead. Oh, my Lord, Jackhammer. Unbelievable. He's thrown it away, and he may have well thrown himself out of championship contention as well. Jackhammer is going to win here in race 7 of the Global Series.
Unreal scenes then. Davide Teresi, he left it all on the line, and in the end, he's going to come away probably with second. But that is an enormous turn. Off screen, Adrian is into third, he's ahead of Trast, so Trast loses another place. Jackhammer is going to be licking his chops here.
Oh, here we go.
Trast, he's going to headbutt the Honda in a minute. This is through the vast rights at the end of the lap. Keinter's down. That doesn't really matter in the context of this title race. We're going to pick them up through the final few corners. Trast is going to have a massive
there he goes.
He's going to have a go. Wise defending there from Adrian. Trast on the inside. Not going to happen. Jackhammer takes victory. You can see the celebrations where he is. Unbelievable. Oh,
who's that?
Davide
Teresi's out again. Surely that's after the line.
I think it's got to be after the line.
We'll have to check that once the results do pop up at the end, but I'm convinced that Davide Teresi did take that second place there.
What a race.
But what a race. What a ride from Jackhammer, keeping the composure, the talent and the skill there. There it is. The number one, he knows that. It's massive going into this final race of the season.
I hope he was doing it with the correct finger. Otherwise, that's really rude. and worryingly, that's to us as well, if it is. So Jackhammer then, as you can see, we've all sat down again. What an unbelievable race that was. Jackhammer, fantastic sportsmanship there. That's Christian MM17 next to him, I believe. Jackhammer, yes, number one, we've got it. Don't you worry me, old sunshine. So, Jackhammer is going to be your championship leader. Can you believe what you're seeing? One race to go. I think we're going to check out the final results. Here we go. Jackhammer, you winner.
So Jackhammer does win then. A massive victory for him in this 2023 title race with just one race to go. Davide Teresi takes second place despite crashing out on the final lap whilst going for the win. Adrian takes third, just ahead of Trastevere and Christian MM17 with that fifth place. You'd have to say that he is now a little bit out of it. Daniele Eloe takes sixth and Piero Ricciuti, solid ride from him, stepping in for just this final round from Ike, Platform for Life, Keinster and Spadalongo rounds out our runners in 11th place.
Fantastic racing. Championship. Look at this. Look at this. Jackhammer, 191 points. Whatever happens, he will be first or second. If he's first or second, he's going to be champion. If he's third and Trast wins, then we've got the title decided by a point. Can you believe it? That is how it looks in the main part of the title race. Jackhammer, Trast, Adrian, Davide Teresi, 33 points back. Christian MM17 in fifth. Daniele Eloe completing that top six. But Jackhammer, it's a late charge, but he is your new championship leader.
Well, that was the most dramatic race of the season so far, you have to say so. Unbelievable drama right down to the very last lap there. And it does mean that Jackhammer comes out of it with the championship lead with just one race to go in this 2023 Global Series. That race will be Sepang and it's coming up very, very shortly indeed. But before that, we should be able to look at some highlights just in a second. But I got to say, Kiko, unbelievable race that. Probably the best one we've had so far. And of course, it had to be the added drama with the wet weather there.
I think that's got to be one of the best esport races we've ever seen. For the context of the title, for the pride that Jackhammer's going to have taking his first position in the championship for the first time. the championship leader for the first time in layman's terms. I got that a bit asked about face. Jackhammer, this is the highlights, got the whole shot. And really from there, it was Jackhammer and Davide Teresi who put on a fantastic show.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. So then Jackhammer, that fantastic start they got from fourth to first really was the thing that set it up. You saw Davide Teresi on the second lap come from an absolute postcode away and fire it down the inside, get it stopped as well. Didn't quite make the pass stick on that one, but the amount of passes that came after that between these two was unbelievable. Davide Teresi cut through there. Then the next three corners, I think they changed every time. This was a massive moment in Trastavere's race. You can see the reaction there from the three-time champion, the GOAT of eSport, as we call him, as he slipped out of what could have been a potential victory for him. And then another world champion went down. A slight bump and barge. Adrian crashed out. And then so did Davide Teresi on that final lap. Jackhammer rode home to victory. And that is the most important win he has taken in the 2023 season so far. You can see what it meant there to Jackhammer, the man from the UK riding for KTM. And you got to say, Danny, I'm sure that one pleases you with the KTM rider winning.
Yeah, of course.
And now the championship leader.
Absolutely, absolutely. A great show today in this race. It was amazing how many passes and on the limit with the wet conditions. Unfortunately, Adrian crashed during this fight, and also Trust with a little touch from Christian. But yeah, unfortunately, the race was broken there, but we had a great show between the first and second position. And obviously, I was thinking to myself, if every race is like this, it's really...
We're glad you're only here today.
Yeah, it's really difficult. But I mean, we can see the faces of concentration of the guys. And although it seemed maybe it's like 10 minutes, or no, it's 8 laps.
8 laps.
So it's 15 minutes race, more or less. It's going to be... it's really difficult to control and to make no mistakes when you're racing others. It was a great show.
Unbelievable, really. I mean, like I say a couple of times now, I think that's the best esports race, if not this year, in all time.
Well, that's saying something, because we did have a dead heat in Australia as well.
That's true, but we have one race to go as well, and that's Sepang, of course, with that last corner, which is reprofiled a few years ago, and you can take a million lines in, and that's reflected on the game. So expect to see some hard passing. We've seen it before there, 2015. Everyone's back in their seats. I think we're going to be ready to go very, very soon. And just a few nerves maybe creeping in. Well, how do you control nerves, Danny? You've been in a world championship winning position many times. Won 3 titles as well yourself in other classes. How do you control that fear, that nerves, and when it's just on the line? How do you do it?
The best thing to do is actually to just focus on what you can do. So if you you get nervous when you try to control what you cannot control, so it's what your rival is doing or the strategy you see he's doing. So basically what you have to do is focus on yourself, and when you keep the focus on you and what you are able to do on track, then is the best way to control the nerves and also to control your rivals.
And not just that as well. I mean, with Jackhammer, he's never been in this position before.
Yeah.
So how would you advise it for the first time?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes no experience is best experience, because you don't have
a reference.
You don't have a reference. You don't have to think in options. You only have one option, which is go, and sometimes that helps to have more clear your mind. And I think he's dealing with this pressure very well. As we can see, he was racing for the win in the wet, and with a hard contender fighting for this race. So passing every corner and fighting spots and making no mistake. And so I think he's pretty solid at the moment.
Danny, of course, we're coming into the final race of the season for these guys, and we're just looking at the monitor here at all the faces. Some of them less nervous than others, of course, because they have less on the line. I can imagine that looking at some of the expressions on their faces reminds you of you in past years, back in your championship years, and what it was like to be sat there before you go out on track. Just your own thoughts inside your own head. Just what's that like?
Yeah, pressure is very high. You have a big responsibility. You have basically your career is on the line. Yeah. Your sponsor is behind you. Your big manufacturer also helping you, the team. And then you don't want to disappoint your fans and family and friends who helped you to arrive there. So there is a huge amount of pressure that you can feel in that moment converge in one single second. So basically you are waiting the time to see the lights go off and then just focus on riding.
And also, of course, we go to Sepang for the last race of the season. Sepang is a place where, well, the weather can change in an instant. We do have flag to flag races this year in the MotoGP video game for the first time, and we have had one already in Thailand, and
Southeast
that was
Asia.
Dramatic. Danny, I'm sure that you've had it where the weather has changed when you've been out on the bike in Sepang before. I mean, at least if it's in a test session, it's fine. You can pit, but in a race, it's like,
exactly.
Oh man, I have to go.
That's absolutely true. Well, once you are, let's say, racing, it's more or less up to the weather to see if it's too strong or not too strong to stop the race for the race director. But when it's happening just prior to the start, which tires, is it going to dry up? Is it going to rain just before the start? Things like this are getting, not only for you, but for the team also. It's really a moment of unknowing, and you just wish that you can have the good pick.
What did you prefer to do when it was in that situation? If it was a little bit of rain, would you always go safe? Or would you go take a gamble, stay with dry? How would you do it?
I was normally not taking a gamble, except a few situations where I did, and I just got the bang. So I was actually right. I had one mechanic who was very clever to spot, let's say, the future in that sense, if it makes sense. And I was like, okay, just tell me what to do, and then I will do that. And then he pretty much all the time was accurate.
Very, very interesting. I mean, we have got it all in MotoGP sport.
We do.
This is real life, I know. But we have this ability in MotoGP sport now with the constant improvement and development of the MotoGP game, of course, which is available for you to enjoy as well. Well, let's check in then. We're going to go racing very soon in Malaysia. And as we say, the weather can change there. And this is the circuit, the Sepang International Circuit.
So here you go then for the final race of the season. The info for the Sepang International Circuit, you see there, very, very long circuit, 5.5 kilometers, 10 right turns, some of them with massive overtaking opportunities, and 5 left. The important one there is the final corner, turn 15. That final hairpin you do see there. Of course, Sepang is a place that is high heat, high pressure, and certainly if the rain turns on at any point, it can throw everything out the window. So you need to be keeping a careful eye on it. Through Sector 2, not too many overtaking opportunities there, but Turn 4 is not a bad one if you can get down on the brakes off the inside. And then Sector 3 as well, plenty of overtaking opportunities there through Turn 9. That's also a good one, as well as not traditionally Turn 12, but we have seen in the past. Turn 14, well, there was a big incident there a few years ago, but we won't mention it too much. But this one is going to be dramatic. A reminder that coming into it, Jack Hammer will lead the championship standings, and Davide Teresi has thrown himself in as a wild card. Not wild card, sorry.
Is it Alvaro Bautista here, is it?
Yeah. He's thrown himself in as a rookie in 2023, and he's coming up trumps. Growing throughout the season, and certainly with those race performances we have just seen in COTA and as well before in Argentina, he is doing the business here tonight, and you've got to say it's the best he's looked all season long so far.
100%. I mean, you look all the way through the pack. You've got winners. You can have your winners and you can have your favourites. But I think the championship order is reflected very well. You know, I think we have got a title order, a championship standings that are reflected on what we've seen on track. Let's stop the talking. The final time in 2023. Let's go racing in the MotoGP Esport Global Series finale. It's decision time.
Here we go then, the final race of 2023, and we are just a handful of laps away from crowning an eventual champion. And look at that, it's a blockbuster front row with Jack Hammer, the championship leader, on pole position from Trastevere, and Davide Teresi right there, the one that we didn't expect in third.
Turn 1 is going to be tasty. Adrian 4th, 5th place for Daniele Aloe. He's not scared of putting his bike right where it needs to be. And for good measure, home hero, Ike 13, and the fans are all the way here from Malaysia as well to cheer him on.
Spadalongo, a trio of 7th place starts then for the Aprilia man. Christian MM17, he's somewhat out of it now, and definitely with that grip position, he's got it stacked up against him in 8th. Keinster once again is in 9th.
Guys, the fans are in the house as well, can hear them over the headset. Piero Ricciuti in 10th, Plat 1 for life. Complete your grid. Predictions, one word from both of you. Who's going to be champion? Jack Hammer.
Yeah, Jack Hammer, I think.
Let's see, pole position went the way of Jack Hammer. Will he convert it? Pole position, go! Racing action is underway. And Jackhammer didn't look like he got the best start. It looked like it went the way of Trust. It needs to go the way of Trust if he wants to have a fight in this title race. Davide Teresi up the inside. Parks it. Collisions every single way and place you look. Oh, no way.
2 in 1 at turn 2.
Okay, well, we're back in action then. No time for pleasantries. Introductions on the first lap.
Unbelievable Piero Ricciuti, the man that finished runner-up in the Global Series in 2023. He's only doing this one round. The Wild Child is up into third place. No, he's not, because Ike's in third. The Malaysian putting on a show in his home race.
We have got a Malaysian in the house here, and he is doing well at home. Ike 13 has saved his best till last. Trust is leading at the moment. He would be champion. Put the flag out now. Second place. Oh, hello. Keinster's down in his last race of the year.
My Lord.
Davide Teresi, where on earth are you going there? Second place for Teresi. He needs to go through into first. 8 laps of there. Somebody falling off this stage in a minute.
Chaotic start there, Danny. Unbelievable, some of the amount of drama we've had.
Oh, and more. Sorry to come in. That was Christian M17 taking advantage of the reckless riding Piero Ricciuti. Jackhammer, una por fuera, I think there. That was it.
Oh, my
Lord. Trying to come through. Jorge Lorenzo's smiling back home in Switzerland.
Yeah, unbelievable how Jackhammer controlled the first couple of sectors because he had to fight very strong, but now already safely into third position. Remember, if he finished first or second, he will be champion, and now he's pushing already to get second place.
Let's see the live championship standings at the end of this lap, because this is very, very interesting indeed. Look at this, side by side for second place. Jackhammer, not this time. As we come into this reprofiled final turn, look at the array of lines you can have. Deary me, it's like a map. There's so many lines going on down there. So Davide Teresi, second place for now. Oh, not for much longer. Look at the slipstream effect. Jackhammer up into second. Good enough for the title as it stands.
Will he get it stopped though? I don't think he will. I think he's going to go a little bit wide. That's going to leave a little bit of room there for Davide Teresi on the inside on the Pramac racing machine. But no, Jack covers it off nicely. Good stuff there from Jackhammer then. Up into second. You got to say that is remarkably well handled after a truly chaotic first lap. Christian MM17 is up into fourth here. He could really do with coming through and barging some of these guys out of the way to help his brother to retain that crown.
And just to touch on something that Danny said in the build-up to this, focus on yourself, do what you can control. Trust is doing it, he's leading so far. Live championship, Jackhammer is holding on with the skin of his teeth. There's nothing in it, 7 points. Double points up for grabs, I remind you. We are on...
Teresi's down
dearie me. Turn 7 catches 2 more. Davide Teresi, that was a valiant attempt to stay in title contention, but it has ended. It has crashed to a halt. But now, dearie me, Jackhammer, second place, that is what that has done there. That crash for, well, the running wide for Christian MM17 and Davide Teresi, sorry, beg your pardon, Davide, down now in 9th. That has really not helped Trust at all.
Exactly.
Trust needed them to interfere with Jackhammer, and now the two are on their own.
Exactly. Trust was doing a great push, putting pressure into Jack because he had to force him to finish into second. But now with Davide out of these first positions, is making the life easy for Jack.
Yeah, absolutely. Jack is now almost pressure off, you'd have to say. I mean, there's definitely still an absolute boatload of pressure on him. We've still got 6 laps to go here as we fly across the line to complete lap 2. And Jack does set the fastest lap of the race. What's that, a 1:53.0 if I squint? I think that is. So a pretty belting lap around the Sepang circuit there from Jack. But you have to say, without that immediate pressure from...
my God!
Good save there from Daniele Aloe on the factory machine. Got a hell of a barge and a whack off Adrian as he came back onto the line after going a little bit wide at turn 1. But you've got to say, and of course a reckless riding for that, not much of a surprise, but you've got to say that Jack right now with 2 seconds behind him to Adrian is quite comfortable indeed.
Off out of 5th place, so Piero Ricciuti, or is it now Pirouette Ricciuti, because he spun out there at turn 4. Disaster for him, but he will be back in about 9th place. He's ahead of Christian MM17 and Keinster, of course, at the back. Don't forget about him. We're looking at Adrian. Adrian not in title contention at the moment. Jackhammer, if he plays it smart, here should be okay. If he doesn't have to win, I know he might want to win this title with a victory, but he doesn't have to do it. The only thing, Danny, that Trast can do is bring Jack into play and slow him down.
A little bit tactics, yeah, a little bit more dirty tactics, but of course I think now for Jack, if he remains just behind Trast, I think it's going to be a long race for him because laps are going to pass slowly, but it's the best position he could be in.
This is we spoke about COTA being a circuit where mistakes are easy. This track as well, Sepang, is very tricky, lots of fast corners and lots of braking areas into corners that are not very standard, turn 7 being one of them.
Yeah, turn 7, one of the most difficult to this double right. It's very easy to make mistakes, but at the moment, Jack is controlling very well this half-second gap between him and Trast, and at the moment, Adrian is now pushing the envelope to risk, to make the risk for Jack this second position.
Do you think it's worth it for Trast to start to maybe back Jack up and bring it in or not? I know you said earlier that obviously it's a tactic that could be employed, but do you think it's worth it for him to do it?
I mean, the only chance for Trast is to stop a little bit the pace and allow Adrian and Daniele to come closer to them and maybe play a little bit game. If he continues to push like he is doing so, then the other guys will not be able to catch up.
The gap at the moment, half a second, but really it's academic. We can see how close it is on screen. Jack Hammer.
Look at the faces there.
Yeah, I tell you what. But I'll tell you something, just to analyse that, Trast looks very relaxed. He looks like he's got it in control. Jack Hammer slightly pensive, slightly uptight.
Well, I think you would be, of course. Trastevere is one that's won 3 titles here in the Global Series. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to get the job done. Jack Hammer, he does not. And of course, as Danny said before we started this race, that sometimes that lack of experience is also a positive and a benefit for you. But by judging on Jack's face, he does look a little bit nervous.
Yeah, he does look nervous. What's easier, Danny, to be leading a championship into the last round or to be trying to take it back?
Absolutely to be leading. You have more pressure, but at the same time, you know if you make things right, that you get the chance to be the champion. When you are playing the catch-up guy, then you are hoping that something else happens and you have to wait for something else to happen to your rival.
Where is Trast going? I think he thought about a flag-to-flag race. Then he was almost in the pit lane. So, Trast is your race leader. The gap between Jack Hammer in second and Adrian in third is 1.9. So let's keep an eye on that. It's 1.9 to 2 seconds, more or less. So
every time I think Jack's going to go wide there at turn 1, but he just manages to get it pulled off. He's certainly doing a good job of breaking late into that. I've actually just noticed that Piero Ricciuti has the fastest lap in this race. That's a cracking job, considering that he hasn't been in the series all year and he's only arrived for this final round. So certainly, well, he's still got it as the wild child. As now this gap then, as you do say, 1.9, it is fluctuating just a fraction, but it's fluctuating the wrong way for Adrian and for Trast as well, because it is now just over 2 seconds from Jack Hammer back to Adrian.
Yeah, Trast, this is through this really fast section, beautiful bit of circuit, I must say, very, very fast. All the riders love it. Not so much this corner. Turn 7's a headache.
Oh,
Trast is definitely slowing this pace up, I can tell you that for certain. Jack Hammer, I don't think he's going to want to try and pass him. I don't think he does, because I think Trast has got good pace here. He's just not showing it.
I think as well, you have to be a little bit concerned that if you do make a bit of contact when trying to go for that overtake, we've seen many times in the video game that if you make that slight bit of contact just at the right point, at the wrong stage of the braking phase, you can go down. And if Jack goes down now, it would be smithereens for his championship hopes.
I think at the moment, Trast is not slowing down or making Jack try to play for the first position, so this speaks very well about Trast, about his fair play game, and I just don't see what will happen in the next 2 laps, but looks like Jack is thinking about it.
Here we go, down into turn 15. It's the scene of so many race-deciding moments. Contact on the apex. Jack Hammer, well, he's not shy, is he?
No.
Here he comes. Does he pull it down? I don't think he did. Yamaha power across the line, neck and neck. Deary me, it was like Phillip Island all over again from the last round. Side by side, 3 laps to go. Backing it in. Jack Hammer, surely.
I told you every time it looks like it's going to go wide.
Jack Hammer's got it at turn 2, and he's going to block Trast out.
Big slide!
I tell you what, the front was moving, the rear was moving, almost everything was moving then. very close there. Trust with a statement of intent, and the gap from second to third is 1.5.
Yeah, if they keep doing this, it's going to be game on. They took about half a second out of them in just half a lap, so it could be closing up here as we go down to the final 3.5 laps of this race. Adrian needs them to start battling again, but you'd have to say that Jack, after trying to go for it and getting a pretty stiff backhand of a slap there for a move from Trastevere, I'm not sure he'll be wanting to go for it once again. If they can keep that gap and stabilise it now, I think that Jack will be quite happy to sit there in second.
Adrian, by the way, even if he wins this, if he does bring himself into contention or is brought into it by external factors, it doesn't look like it's going to be championship retained. It looks like it is going to go the way of Jack Hammer or Trust at the moment. Daniele Aloe is not in the top 5 in the championship standings as it is right now, so he's going for personal pride. That could almost be a bit more dangerous.
Right, let's see what they do here, because I've noticed that Trask has been running a much tighter line than Jack through here, and he's gone a little bit wide, missed the apex slightly, just about caught it on the way out, and now he's going to get tucked into the slipstream. Is this going to be a carbon copy of the lap before? He's gone defensive this time as Trask, but at some point he'll have to sweep across. He is ahead into the braking zone this time, and that should be a much more clear-cut move for Jack Hammer. He's up into the lead. Cracking stuff.
Jack Hammer then leading, and he's going to lead across the line. Trust, it is really now or never. Penultimate lap of 2023 is underway, and I've got to say, Jack Hammer, is he going to put it down to hammer time at the perfect time? Turn 1. They've through it cleanly, they've through it separately as well. Jack Hammer, has he had pace? Has he been sandbagging?
Well, you never know. I mean, we'll see what he can pull out of the bag now. But as you say, Jack Hammer, I mean, pulling that off, avoiding all the chaos in the early laps there to maintain that P3 by the end of lap 1 and then pick off into second place as well. You've got to say that he's looked the best of everyone out there right now, and with a lap and a half to go, he's only adding to that advantage he's got. It's up over half a second already, and it could be lights out for Trastevere and for Adrian for their championship.
Yeah, Adrian and Daniele are closing the gap, but I think they're gonna miss a few laps to really get in the game.
Yeah.
But I suspect that now the pace from Jack has been faster, and that's why they are struggling more to get closer.
In a lap and a half situation like this, you know, 1.5 laps until the checker flag, and you got something as big as a championship on the line. You have just over half a second. Is this a manageable scenario, or is it still high pressure?
It's high pressure because you can make a mistake any minute, but I think Jack is doing what he needs to do, which is play at the fastest rhythm he can do, and then avoid any fights. I think this is the most clever strategy.
How important is being your normal self in these closing stages? Don't start thinking about the title race. Keep it about, I'm going to win the race, the same as I would at round 2 of the year.
Not easy to do, actually, when the championship is on the line, but I think the best way you can do is try to do your best every lap and focus corner by corner, not think too long term, otherwise the plans can change in any bit.
Final lap has got underway. 5.5 kilometers, just under 2 minutes of MotoGP Esport 2023 action. The Global Series, it started with a sprint, as you saw at the top of the program. It started with Trust on top, and until the start of the last race earlier on today at COTA in the wet, he led the whole thing. But now, a new name has come good. Jack Hammer, familiar face maybe, but not in the top 3. Until now, he is a championship leader coming into this grand finale for the first time, and he is staring down the barrel of giving KTM the title in 2023. He would be a new Global Series champion. He's half a lap from home.
Yeah, what more could we say about him this year? He's been absolutely brilliant from ever since he first came into the Global Series. Last year, I mean, we knew he was fast. We saw in the online challenges that he was quick, but he came into the Global Series and struggled in his first year. He had flashes of brilliance, he had really good qualifying, but in the races, and even in this year, the qualifying pace was electric. But for some reason, he just couldn't quite get it to click in the first couple of rounds, and then as soon as it clicked, it has stayed clicked. He's been absolutely brilliant in this last 3rd and 4th round, and now he is only 2 corners away from becoming a Global Series world champion.
If he gets any closer to the screen, I think he's going to go through the TV. 1 corner to go then. Jack Hammer the number 67 on a KTM. It's not Shaky Burn in 2005, I can assure you. It is a new star in MotoGP eSport. Last corner, last time. 2023 is coming to a close with a new name on top. Jack Hammer, Great Britain's Jack Hammer takes victory and the title. He is MotoGP eSport World Champion in the Global Series of 2023. What a finale. We had it all right the way through the stories of 2023. This year has been unforgettable. But Jack Hammer has come good when it mattered. Keinster there, congratulating him. Christian M17, the HRC LCR team rider is there, the player there. Also congratulating Spadalongo. Davide Teresi mounted the late charge in 23, but he couldn't quite convert it when push came to shove. Ike coming over there. Adrian, he was your outgoing champion. In the end, no win in 2023 for Adrian, but a new champion in Jack Hammer. Next time for Trast.
Yeah, what can you say then? Jack Hammer done an absolutely fantastic job this year, thoroughly deserving of the world title and our Global Series crown. You can see there, he's a lovely guy. He's quite a shy and timid guy in person, but absolutely a ferocious animal on track, it has to be said. He knows how to get the job done. We've seen several times this year, he comes from back in the pack from 6th, 7th place and burns through all of these guys to go and put on a fantastic victory. And that's exactly what he has done in this final race of the season as well. And hopefully in just a few seconds time we'll be able to see the race results, but there you have it then. Jack Hammer is your new world champion, courtesy of that fantastic victory. There it is in the flesh, confirmation that just by 1 second ahead of Trastevere. Adrian finishes third, a valiant effort, but no win for him in 2023. Plenty of podiums, but it is going to be commiserations as he hands over his title crown to Jack Hammer. Daniele Aloe finishes fourth, fantastic. I think that's his best ride of the season. The same for Plat One for Life in fifth. Great stuff from the pair of them. Davide Teresi, unfortunately, his late title surge, I should say, does fall short. 6th place there in the final race of the season from Ike. Piero Ricciuti, the stand-in, finishes 8th. Good job from him and the rest of the runners. Here is the championship standings. They're the final and confirmed championship standings. By 27 points, Jack Hammer is your 2023 MotoGP eSport Global Series champion. Trastevere takes second, continuing his fantastic run of finishing in the top 3 in the championship standings. Adrian takes third, certainly not a bad effort at all, defending his title from last year. Davide Teresi takes 4th in his debut season, ahead of Christian M17, Daniele Aloe, Spadalongo, Keinster, Piero Ricciuti, Ike, and Plat One for Life. So there you have it then. A fantastic season of MotoGP eSport action has come to a close, and we do have a new name on top of it. And I believe that very, very shortly indeed we'll be able to cross over to Kiko, who is with our new world champion, Jack Hammer, on the KTM. Danny, final thoughts after a fantastic championship?
Yeah, unbelievable, nice finale. I enjoyed very much, and the guys put a great show. It was a great 3 races and a lot of nerves, and we can see, and a big relief now for Jack becoming a champion.
Absolutely there. So there you saw the shot of the Global Series Championship trophy, and we can now cross live to Kiko, where he is with Jack Hammer, our 2023 king. We'll just have a couple more seconds before we do cross over to Kiko. I have to say, and now we can cross live down to Kiko, who is with Jack Hammer, interviewing our new world champion.
Okay, I think we are ready then for the interview. Well, I am here for the first time. Jack Hammer, MotoGP eSport Global Series champion. Tell us about it.
Well, that was the craziest of last rounds I've ever had. Termas was just crazy. Everyone going flying everywhere at turn 5, and just holding on to second place was good enough. Then Austin, my plan was just to survive, stay on the bike, and Davide unfortunately made that a very difficult job for me. We battled so many times, so many overtakes, but just to cross the line and then into Sepang, I knew all I had to do was finish second to Trast, but then a natural faster pace so I could just pass him and bring the bike home. And honestly, I can't believe what's happened. I don't think it's sunk in yet, but I have no words really.
Tell me about the battle you had with Davide there in COTA. That was absolutely epic. I mean, we were saying in the commentary, best esports race I think ever.
Yeah, you know, it's like trying to take risk with no risk at the same time. because, you know, it's just, you're in the wet, you're braking extremely easy, but you got to be aggressive to stay in front, because if you don't try to defend, they're going to overtake you. So, yeah, I think this race was definitely the most, maybe important, not the best victory, maybe the most important of my sport career, and I can't believe it happened, to be honest, but it was very good.
How big's the party going to be now? Because this is a big achievement.
So next Friday I'm having a party for my birthday. Now we've got the Esports Championship to add to it, so I think we might have a few drinks, let's say.
Good birthday present?
It's all right. Could be. It's not too bad, is it?
Ladies and gentlemen, Jack Hammer, your 2023 Global Series champion. First interview done there. We will be going to the podium with my good ginger friend, Jack Gorst.
Thank you very much, then, Kiko. And we can now start the podium proceedings here for the 2023 Global Series. And taking third place in the championship for 2023, the outgoing world champion from last year, Adrian, please come and take your place on the podium. And then in second place as well, what we like to call the GOAT of eSport, Trastevere for the factory Yamaha team, taking second place in the championship this year. But of course, all the focus and attention goes on our new champion, Jack Hammer for Red Bull KTM Factory Racing. And so now we can start the award ceremony with the medals and also then the championship trophy. Danny, if you can please present the third place medal to Adrian. Just 1 second for the photos. Congratulations, Adrian. Third place in the championship. Certainly not a bad effort indeed. But just ahead of him in the end, Trastevere from the factory Yamaha team takes second place in the 2023 Global Series, continuing his fantastic streak of top 3 finishes in the championship for, oh, God knows how many years by now. But the big prize, the Global Series trophy, it's going to a new home this year. It's going to Great Britain, and it's going to Jack Hammer, your 2023 Global Series champion. So then, Kiko, as we take it all in, all the photos and the celebrations, I'm sure, will starting and are starting right now. What a series we've had. It's been a fantastic Global Series in 23.
Of the UB Live Festival here in Barcelona, and to see such great action. How has it been?
Yeah, it's been grateful. I was, when I was with you guys there watching the race, I was just willing to try again one shot and see how I can do it, because I'm very competitive as well, but really enjoying this competition, and nice to see these guys now with the trophies and enjoying their moment.
Yeah, they've certainly been fantastic this year. Kiko, anything else?
No, just to say, and a quick word as well, Jack Hammer, what a performance in the final round.
Yes, really happy for his win and also for KTM, and it's been a fantastic show, and many hours they spent training for this event, so really a great effort for him, and for a rookie to be a champion is fantastic.
Jack, we've been here right the way through the story of this year. What's been the best moment?
Well, I think aside from this, obviously some of the great racing, I think the highlight for me was probably one of Jack's wins in round 3, where he came from 6th to 1st, I believe it was, in Australia, in that dead heat across the line as well, with Trastevere, the GOAT of eSport, as we do say. I think that has to be my highlight.
The top 3 in the championship reflected well, we said in the race, and I think here as well, that's about how it should be.
Yeah, absolutely, and really, there's not too much left for us to discuss. Really, all we have to say is thank you to everyone that came down to watch, of course, here at the UB Live Festival in Barcelona. then of course it's been a fantastic year for eSport. We of course have to say thank you to all of our gamers, not just these three, but everyone else behind us as well. 6 of them this year were debutants, and they certainly put on a show. So we'll have to say a massive thank you to them, and also a thank you to all the guys behind the scenes that you don't see that help us put on this fantastic show. And a thank you to you too, Kiko, and of course a thank you to Danny Pedrosa for coming in and helping us this year.
Thank you very much to you, Jack Gorston. Also, thank you to all of our partners that make it possible. Thank you to all of you guys for joining us. Thank you to the gamers. As you've said, follow us all across social media, because eSport is going to be back bigger and better than ever in 2024. But just in case you needed a reminder, these are the best bits of 2023. Until next year, goodbye for now.